Alright class, as you can see we've been talking about World War II recently. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do some group work and we're going to be integrating technology into the classroom today. So what I'm going to need you to do is first get together into groups of 2 or 3. Prior to the 2 World Wars, many Canadians had felt a deep connection with Britain. However, Canada's involvement in World War II is often credited as being the catalyst of feelings of independence and nationalism. In groups of 2 or 3, quietly come up with a list of Canadian contributions to the Allied war effort during World War II. This task just requires you to list whatever you know off the top of your head. Compile a list of your responses and attempt to put them in chronological order. When you are done, keep this list safe, as we will look at it later. Okay guys, that's a really good list you've come up with. I'm pretty happy with that. Now we're going to do some work with some primary sources. We're going to be heading down to the computer lab and working on a web quest. So if I can get the whole class to quietly line up by the door, and we'll head down. In groups of 2 or 3, you will examine all of the 1935 to 1945, A Soldier's War topic on the CBC Radio and Television Archives website to find out about Canada's participation in World War II. After viewing the clips, you are expected to create a slideshow presentation of the information you have gathered. More information on how this is to be completed will follow in the process section. While watching the various video and sound clips, be sure to take detailed notes of the information you find, citing all the sources you use. It is important that you check your facts with a secondary source, as not all internet information is accurate. Through your research on this and related sites, you should develop a list of battles, campaigns, events, and other involvement of Canada in the war. Using presentation software, you are to create a slideshow timeline extending from 1939 to 1945, which illustrates in chronological order a minimum of 10 major and 5 minor examples of Canada's role in the war. For each point, be sure to include a brief explanation of the Canadian role. You are required to then select at least 5 clips from the CBC Radio and Television Archives website and place these in the appropriate place on the timeline. Here are a list of resources you can use: the CBC Radio and Television Archives website, Virtual Museum Canada, Juno Beach Centre, and the Canadian War Museum website. Here's the rubric you will be evaluated on. All content throughout the presentation is accurate. There are no factual errors. Information is organized in a clear, logical way. It is easy to anticipate the type of material that might be on the next card. Presentation has no misspellings or grammatical errors. Presentation shows considerable originality and inventiveness. The content and ideas are presented in a unique and interesting way. Project includes all material needed to gain a comfortable understanding of the topic. It is a highly effective study guide. After making your presentation to the class and showing your slideshow, each student will be expected to explain why they chose the events they did to be most important. What events are repeated among the various groups? Why do you think this is? Which events, as a class, do you think are most important? Okay guys, I hope you've learned some interesting things about World War II today. Obviously you guys have shown pretty well how Canada contributed to the overseas war effort. You've shown how Canada has contributed on land in campaigns like Hong Kong, Dieppe, the Normandy campaign, and also fighting in Italy. Canada participated in sea warfare through protecting the convoys, hunting down U-boats, and providing support for our ground troops. And of course they contributed in the air campaign in Battle of Britain and the strategic bombing campaign. I also feel that you guys have a pretty good sense of what these soldiers went through overseas. So I hope that you've garnered a greater appreciation for exactly what happened during World War II. Alright guys, I'll see you tomorrow.